It is Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by Mountain Dew. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick this summer? Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is still my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. Boy, do we have a ton to get to, including not one, but two tips of the cap. Youngsters around that are wowing us. Nolan McLean diced up the Tigers on Tuesday, improved 4-0, ERA of 1.37, 28 Ks in his first four starts. Last pitcher to do that, Fernando Valenzuela in 1981 to have those type of numbers. That's pretty good company, dude.
It's the best company you can keep as a starting pitcher starting out their career. You might have another guy to go to, but in my mind, best start of his career ever as a pitcher's got to be Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah. And the kid is just filthy. He's got like 18 different pitches. If you listen to the Tigers broadcast, there was a clip floating on social media with Benetti and Dirks. They were like, what are Benetti goes, that ball should be glowing with the way it's moving. It was good stuff.
I like it. I'm changing his nickname. I want it on record. I'm calling him McDemon. Okay.
Demon.
Baseball reference. It's Cowboy Ohtani. I'm out on that. McDemon, because you're a demon on the hill. Love it.
Can you order that at a fast food joint?
Yeah, maybe.
Like a bottled water and a McDemon?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, marketing opportunities galore.
I don't know what we do with Junior Caminero, how to properly market him, but let's figure it out. He joined the 40 and 100 club as the Rays top the slumping Seattle Mariners. This is his age 21 season, even though he just recently turned 22. He becomes the fourth guy to club 40 in their age 21 season. Hall of Famers Eddie Matthews and Mel Ott and Ronald Acuna. That is it. A table of four. Pretty special.
He's awesome. I got a marketing idea for him, too. He needs to pair up with NASCAR. Best bat speed in the league for this guy. And I do. So you're welcome for that. I do want people to realize just what 40 and 100 means. I think a lot of times we get away from conventional statistics like, RBIs and homers still count. But 30 and 100, ask any big league hitter, 30 and 100 is the benchmark for an unbelievable season. Like if you have one season at 30 and 100, you're feeling damn good about yourself. 40, 100 is off the charts at age 21. It's nuts, man. And I don't care about the field that he plays at. This guy hits freaking tanks.
Yeah, his splits are almost 50-50 on his homers home away. So if that's what you're digging for, go get a happier life because that's not what we're looking at. All right, buckle up. We had a couple of wild events around baseball. We're going to start in Houston where the Yankees take their series opener against the Astros, and they took it to Houston's ace, Framber Valdez, tagged for 6 runs in 5 innings. But it's really what transpired after the Trent Grisham grand slam that had us going, wow, that's Cesar Salazar behind home plate telling Framber to step off. He doesn't, and then he has to step off because Grisham just launched a grand slam. So Framber, we know he gets a little emotional on the mound. Next batter, is that a cross-up? It hits Salazar right on the chest. Looked like he was expecting off speed. A sinker came instead. Here's both parties talking about it, starting with Framber through a translator.
It was not intentional. I called for a sinker, and that's the pitch I wanted. There was a lot of noise, and I thought that was what he wanted me to throw, but no, it was not intentional.
You said that you called for it. How did you communicate that to him? Because you don't have the pitch comm.
It wasn't necessary that I called for it. That was just the pitch that I had in mind. He called for a curveball, but I was already in mind that I was going to throw a sinker, and that's what I threw. So that's what happened.
No, didn't get crossed up. Like I said, there was a good amount of Yankees fans, so it was pretty loud for the grand slam. Maybe my pitch gun wasn't in the right spot, so I pressed the wrong button, So,
Plouffe, are you buying what they're selling?
No, not at all. I wanted to buy what they're selling. I've been a Framber truther from like his very first starts. He's been like my guy, and I know he gets emotional, but this is I guess we'll never know truly. Okay, so I'll say that. I think it's bullshit, Chris. I really do, because right there, if you cross your catcher up and you don't mean to do it, you're going to say, oh, shoot, I'm sorry. Like, that's the reaction you're going to have. That's like a stone cold, like, killer right there. Like he did exactly what he wanted to do. And I love the follow because Framber said, I called for a sinker. And whoever asked that question, kudos to you. They're like, well, you don't have a pitch comm, so how can you call for a sinker? And he said, I had a sinker in my mind, and he called a curveball, but I already had it in my mind. That's just crazy talk. So I think it was intentional, and that's if it was, again, this is just what I think. If it was intentional, that's horrible. That's ridiculous. And honestly, Salazar should be able to like have some sort of retaliation. He did a great job of handling the situation and saying, yeah, it was, it's too loud in here, whatever it was. Come on, man. That was bad. I don't know how you can interpret the situation any other way. I hope I'm wrong, Chris. I really, really hope I'm wrong, because that's like one of the worst things that you can do on a baseball field. And if he did do it intentionally, unfortunately, I lost a lot of respect for Framber Valdez.
Well, I've never stepped in a batter's box. I've never used pitch comm. I've never called a pitch. I've never taken 93 to the chest protector. But that sure as shit looked like it was intentional from here. And Chandler Rome, who does a great job covering the Astros for The Athletic, reported that both guys were called into Joe Spa's office before they met with the media. So I don't know if the door goes shut and Espada reads Framber the riot act and he apologized, because Rome also reported that the pitcher apologized. Yeah, guys, this is screwed up. And to me, it's a bigger deal than, oh, okay, well, it's just one moment in time and the guy got a little fiery. You're putting somebody's health at risk. Are you not, Trevor?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Okay. You're doing that to a teammate. We get up in arms when somebody throws 93 near an opponent's head after giving up a home run or something like that. Now you're willing to put your own teammates at risk? And this isn't the first time that Framber's kind of gone off the tracks, if this is indeed what happened, right? Earlier this year, we saw him question the defensive positioning on a fly ball or something out there. He is, that's why we have center fielders out there. The right fielder doesn't belong. So he's always been a little bit of a loose cannon. Remember a few years ago, he said, I'm not going to the All-Star game to represent Houston if I'm not starting, all this sort of. He's tough. Let's just call him exactly what he is. He's tough. He's super talented. He's been one of the most consistent pitchers in baseball over the last 6 or 7 years, but he could be a real pain in the ass. And it wouldn't surprise me if there were like 3 or 4 guys that either went up to him last night or will go up to him today and say something, and they should, because this is an organizational issue if you don't take a stance and allow him to get away with putting one of his teammates' health at risk. It's wrong.
You can get away with a lot of things. You can be ornery. You can do all these things. In fact, a lot of pitchers are, and maybe that's what makes them great. Like, this desire to win almost at all costs. But you do something like that. And again, and for whatever social clip we're going to put out there, I wanted to make sure that this is added in. We don't know for sure.
We don't.
That's the bottom line. We're just saying what it looks like. I think it looked intentional. And I bet a lot of people agree with that. What I want to know is what Carlos Correa said to him. I guarantee, that's the reason they brought him back. This is a guy that knows how to run a clubhouse. And if there's anyone that can command respect over Framber in that clubhouse, it's Carlos Correa. So I'm curious to see what he has to say about it. I wonder if he'll get asked about it today. But listen, it's a bad look for Framber. And going into free agency, I know a lot of people can look past that and say, hey, this is what you do statistically. But I'm telling you, man, that means something. That might get one team out of there who was like, yeah, we like Framber. That could take them out of the race. And you need leverage in free agency. I'm telling you, man, you might not believe it, but something like this could be a red flag for teams. Is a red flag for teams.
That sounds pretty. Most teams will still go with the fact that this is his 4th straight season with 25-plus starts. He's now won double-digit games for the 5th straight season. He's got
looking
a career
for reasons
ERA.
not to pay you. They're looking for reasons not to give you money.
But when you're that consistent, I agree, but when you're that consistent, they're willing to look past certain things. Now, I will say this. If Framber signs with a new team, and I firmly believe that he will, they're running a risk because he doesn't have the standing in a clubhouse. He is going fresh. So if he pulls bullshit like this, look out. Who knows what could happen? It is something that would worry me as an architect of a ball club. I would.
Last thing I'll say, I want to reiterate, we don't know if that was intentional. Okay. We just can see with our own eyes. It sure looked like to me it was intentional. And if it was, it's about as bad of a thing as you can do on a baseball field.
Actually, we'll follow that up with leave a comment. Do you think it was intentional? And if so, does Houston have to do something to him publicly? Actually, that's what I want to know. Do they have to punish him?
Like what? Like tar and feather him? What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about the city. I'm talking about the team. Don't they have
No,
to
they
take
can't
some
do
sort of-
that. If they let those guys talk like they just did, they can't punish him now. They can't go out and say it was a mistake. It wasn't intentional, and then say, "Oh yeah, actually, he's punished."
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it was some BS. I can't imagine. He must be terribly embarrassed when he walks into the clubhouse today.
I want to see how close they're sitting together on the bench today. I want to see
Good
it.
one. That's a good one. I like your point about Correa. I want to hear his thoughts on this. All right, let's move on to the champs. The Dodgers kicked off a road trip with a loss in Pittsburgh. Wasn't pretty, but did you hear this? Shohei got caught for speeding.
Ohtani in the driver's seat. 3-1, a rocket to right field. This ball is gone. That is home run number 100 as a Dodger for Shohei Ohtani, and it got out in a blink in the Bird.
That is correct, Steven Nelson. More than a blink, like 120 miles an hour. The fastest a home run has ever been hit in the StatCast era on a pitch that was delivered 99 plus. You just saw Dalton Rushing's look on his face. He's like, what? What did I just see? It just sounds different.
120 is insane. It's insane, Chris. Yeah, he's just different. He's big. He's strong. His swing mechanics are perfect. He knows how to use his body to generate power, everything. I mean, the guy is we're just running out of things to say about Shohei Ohtani. It's insane.
So you heard Steven Nelson. That's 100 career homers as a Dodger in his 294th game. Only two other players in the history of the sport got to 100 with their team faster. Mark McGwire, when he became a Cardinal, it only took him 230 games to get to 100 homers with that club. Babe Ruth, 250 games with the Yankees. My question is this. If the Dodgers win another World Series, and right now that feels like it's miles and miles away, but it could happen. If it happens, is it the greatest first 2 years with a team that we have ever seen being put up by Shohei Ohtani?
Chris, I thought the Dodgers were ruining baseball. What happened to that? I thought the Dodgers ruined baseball. What happened? Now everyone can't even. They might not even make the playoffs now. Come on, that was crazy the way people were talking before the season. I don't know the answer to that, Chris. This is more of a you thing. I tried to come up with like different names, like hey, great debuts. I was like Ichiro came over in 2001, had a great year. Seattle won 116 games. That's got to be one. The next year he wasn't that good though.
Mm-hmm.
So can't do that.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll help you.
Wait, I got one more.
Yeah.
I was like, Jack Morris came to the Twins in 1991. They won a World Series. He pitched 10 innings in the World Series that year.
In Game 7.
He was only there for 1 year.
So, yeah, he was. All right. So you're right. It's kind of an unfair question, but there are some names that will pop into mind, right? Barry Bonds, when he made the move from Pittsburgh to the Giants, he finished MVP his first year. I think they won 104 games and missed the playoffs. How'd you like to do that?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like to win 2 World Series, who's going to compare to that? Do you have one?
And he's going to win MVPs, both.
Yeah.
So I had to look. I guessed at Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth hit 113 homers his first 2 years in New York in 1920 and 21. They did not win the World Series. Greg Maddux, back-to-back Cy Youngs when he moved from the Cubs to the Braves. 93, they lost to the Phils in the NLCS. 94, we did not have a World Series. Those were some of the guys that just came off the top of my head. We could use this as like a little research project for people that want to throw stuff in the comments. I always think it's good to inform, our followers and the two hosts of the show. That's always good.
I think I'll just answer the question that will be the best 2 years of any team, because I'm trying to think of repeat champions, which doesn't happen very often at all.
Right.
And then back-to-back MVPs has happened, but it not with 2 championships. So it's going to be, yeah. I mean, again, I just said we're running out of things to say about Shohei Ohtani. There's another one we can say. If they win the World Series, it'll be the greatest first 2 years that when a guy's changed teams, which I don't know what that means, but it means something.
One just popped into my head, and it's Reggie Jackson going to the Yankees. So 77 and 78, they win titles. He finished 8th in the MVP his first year and 17th the next year. So that's not going to do it from an individual standpoint. I mean, this is kind of the point. Like Shohei, from individual, check, and team, if they get there, if we know that's a big little word, if. Yeah, go ahead, caller.
I got one. Not baseball, but baseball related. Chris Rose leaves MLB Network and comes to John Boy Media.
No question. If you look at everything, all encompassing. I think that's fair. What am I supposed to say about that? Really?
You became my work dad. This is great. So happy.
Look, I know somebody. We put out a social media clip the other day of I think with the Suter episode on Dugout Discussions, and somebody said, "Look what happened to you since Intentional Talk," and I couldn't tell if that was the way I look or what's happened in my career. I'm perfectly happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. All is well.
Upgrade.
Yeah, come on now. World is good. All right, I got to get my this up if you don't mind. Don't worry, you'll know what I'm talking about in a second. It's time for Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Mountain Dew, where we take a look at teams who are climbing up or sliding down the mountain on the trek to the playoffs. We know it's a long shot. The San Francisco Giants, they have been playing significantly better ball over the last few weeks. So they have now pulled into a tie with the Cincinnati Reds as the first team out of the National League wildcard picture. It's a tough go because they're both 5 games back with less than a month to go. But stranger things have happened. Speaking of strange, what the heck happened out at Coors Field last night in the first inning with Kyle Freeland on the mound and Rafael Devers at the dish?
5 games out of the final wild card spot. Devers skies one to right, way up there, and gone. Another one for Rafi Devers. And Kyle Freeland, the benches are clearing. Devers is trying to round the bases. Freeland was unhappy, and now we got punches being thrown. Oh, my goodness. I mean, Devers still hasn't rounded the bases.
Devers eventually did round the bases. They weren't really punches. They were more like slappy stuff. When the dust settled, Freeland was tossed. Matt Chapman was tossed. Willie Adames was tossed. Here are both starting pitchers. We'll start with Freeland and then Giants starter Logan Webb.
Yeah, I mean, I just, found it extremely disrespectful to, show me up like that in the first inning after hitting a home run, standing there watching it, taking your sweet time getting down to first base. I've been in this league for quite some time, and I know he is as well. I just find that extremely disrespectful and felt that I needed to let him know about that.
It's kind of just the general feeling of watching all of that go on.
I mean, surprised it hasn't happened before with that guy. So, just kind of runs his mouth a lot of times, and Rafi got him good. So, whatever.
Logan Webb is hilarious. You could see the wheels turning in his head as to whether or not he should answer Susan Slusser's question truthfully, and I'm so happy he did.
I think he had more to say. That was like a tame version of what was going on in his head. And we're watching, if you're on YouTube, you're seeing what Rafi Devers did. Dan, run that back, please, if you can, from the beginning of that side. I don't know what Freeland was mad about right here. Like, this is, in today's game, this is nothing, Chris. Not a thing at all. I'm sorry. I don't know what he's mad about. And to say, I got a lot of time in this league. I mean, like, I don't know, man. It sounds like he was just a little hurt that he got right there. And to start, this is the problem, Chris. Okay. This is the problem. You are mad that you gave up a homer and like he took his time. Like, he didn't really do much. You start running your mouth. It's not if it was just you and him, great. Do what you got to do. But you're going to involve all of your teammates now.
Mhm.
And there wasn't like real punches thrown, but there could be. Some guys could get really hurt. You're putting your teammates in danger. Maybe there's retaliation. All these things. Pitchers don't think about stuff like that. It's just about, oh man, he hurt my feelings. Like you have to think about your teammates in situations like that. If he did something crazy and you got to go get him, go get him. But what we just saw elicits that kind of reaction out of you that you're going to start a benches clearing brawl. That's soft. I got to call it what it is, Chris. I got a lot of time in the game too. It's soft.
Yeah. There were a lot of people chirping on social media last night at Giants fans who were saying, well, hold on. Why are you defending your guy? Because a few years ago, Madison Bumgarner gets taken into the ocean by Max Muncy, and he starts yelling at Muncy. The difference was that Muncy kept running all the way around. He said, what? Didn't he say, like, why don't you go grab it out of the ocean or something?
Awesome.
And then they printed T-shirts. That's some funny shit. And obviously, Kyle Freeland has not had the career that Madison Bumgarner had.
I'll say, like, I'm not like I came from an era where you couldn't do anything. That was the era that I came from. So, like, I understand the mentality because I've been around the mentality a lot. Go act like you've been there before. We just actually applauded Mickey Gasper for the Twins, who had this incredible quote saying, my dad always told me to act like you've been there before. If Mickey Mantle puts his head down and runs the bases, Mickey Gasper should put his head down and run around the bases. All-time quote. Love it.
It's great.
But like the game has changed. Game's done changed. There's some things that go on today I don't like. But that right there, what we just saw was not a big deal. I actually just texted Kyle Farmer. I said, man, I love that you got in there so quick yesterday. He goes, I saw red, man. I saw red. But that's what I'm talking about. You're putting your guy in harm's way.
Yeah.
Willie Adames, I was freezing the frames through that video. I was like, man, where were the punches? I want to see the punches. Willie Adames cocked back to throw one and then didn't.
No, it was almost like a hand flutter kick in the beginning. It was one of these.
We know baseball
me,
balls
I'm a huge
baseball balls are
Adames guy.
soft. They're not.
Yeah, we just
for the most part.
Yeah, it's not going to go in the Sweet Science Hall of Fame, that video. By the way, did you read that Devers did not have a third baseman's mitt? He had to move from first to third when Chapman got ejected because Wilmer Flores was already in the game at DH, so they would have lost the DH. And he had to use Chapman's glove throughout the game. And they asked him afterward, how was it? He goes, I'll use any glove that's got 5 platinum gloves in it.
I'm sure it's a great glove. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's a great glove. Hey, you know what? Devers looked pretty damn good over there.
He did. He made a really good play on a double play. Yeah, it was good, but it could have screwed the Giants because it left them with one bench player, I think, for the rest of the game, where every game
Did
counts.
Freeland get thrown out of the game?
Yes, he did. He did get thrown out of the game.
I thought he did, but
here's the one thing I didn't love about his comments. I thought, first of all, whatever, you're a little sensitive with that stuff because of the era we're in. It's not a big deal. But he also said he was disrespecting me, right? He didn't say disrespecting the game. He said disrespecting me, right? Isn't that what he said?
I mean,
Dan, let's put the
you know my feeling about starting pitchers. There's a few of them that I like, a very small.
Yeah, I mean, I just found it extremely disrespectful to show me up like that in the first inning after hitting a home run, standing there watching it, taking your sweet time getting down to first base. I've been in this league for quite some time, and I know he is as well. I just find that extremely disrespectful, and felt that I needed to let him know about that.
It's kind of just the general.
Okay, so yeah.
I will defend. Okay. Said what I had to say about Freeland and starting pitchers. I'll defend him a little bit now. Okay. Because again, like me, like he's played in an era. I don't know when he debuted. I think it was like 12 or 13, maybe.
Oh, I think it was after that.
It is after that. What year? We're in 2025.
We're in 2025. I'm going to say it was probably 15 or 16.
Even that, like you started in an era where it wasn't okay to do stuff like that. Which is, when you think back about it, it's crazy. Say what you want. That's where he like grew up. Like that's where he got there. And that was his mindset coming from the minor leagues, going up into the big leagues at that time. So he has that mentality still. Do you have to switch it over? Probably. to survive in today's game, like guys are going to do that every single time, dude.
2017 is when Kyle Freeland debuted.
That was the beginning of like let the kids play, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to defend you, Freeland. I'm sure you're a nice guy. I don't know you, but I think we got to change that.
Yeah, we can only comment on what we've seen. It's not a personal attack on a guy. We're reacting to his reaction. That's all. Nothing wrong with that.
We got to change that up, man.
All right. All 5 teams in the AL East. They won again on Tuesday, including the squad at the top of the mountain, by George.
5 American League hitters. Get out of here, ball. Get out of here.
Towering fly ball to left center, and can you believe it? George Springer has done it again.
When Dan Shulman says done it again, he ain't kidding. He led off the game with a home run. How many times has he done that now? 60, what did I write down? 62 times? Second most ever? What a great year he's had. What a bounce back, huh?
It's been really cool to see. I mean, I respect him as a player. I think, he's had a nice long career, but a bounce back year like this, probably a little unexpected, but he's been a massive part of why the Blue Jays are still in front there in the AL East.
Yeah, he's been freaking awesome. Are you kidding me? And they needed him last night. They needed every single run because they had a huge lead, and then they just couldn't hang on at all. Weird stuff happens in Cincinnati, so.
There was a play early on in the season. I gave him an award for it on Talking Baseball, where in right field, ball down the line, ground ball, he like dove for it in the outfield. That you don't really see that often. Ground ball, dove for it to cut it off, and he held the runner from scoring, and they ended up getting out of the inning without that runner scoring. I think the guy got to third base but didn't score. They got the next out, and I'm like, dang, like George Springer, like it's pretty good for what we'd consider, an older gentleman in the game. And then he just started hitting bombs, and it was just you could tell early on that physically he felt really, really good this year, and he's just continued it, which is super, super impressive.
His OPS is about 250 points higher, I think, this year than last year's. So, yeah, he's been a huge reason why they're still hanging on to the AL East, but that division is going to be really interesting the last 3 weeks of the year. Give me one other guy who deserves major credit for a turnaround season that maybe we haven't talked enough about.
I'm going Maikel Garcia. I think he gets overshadowed in Kansas City. In Kansas City, they're within striking distance of the wild card, and a lot of it's been Bobby Witt and Vinny, and but Maikel has had a great year this year. He's already up to 5 WAR. Increased his bat speed by over a mile per hour. I don't know if that was intentional, that he worked on it, or just something clicked, but he's hitting fastballs at almost 100 points better this year. And if you're on time, he had a miserable year hitting the fastball last year. So that kind of sets the tone for your entire offensive profile. You got to be on time for the fastball. You have to be able to get there. And everything that he's done this year offensively has just been, 3 or 4 ticks up from what he's been in his career. He's always been a good defender, doing that again this year. But the offense has picked up a ton, and it's good for him and where he's at in his career, and obviously really good for the Royals.
Made the All-Star team just like the guy I'm going to talk about, Corbin Carroll. And it's been nice to see him return to the sort of player when they extended him to, that 9-figure contract. He's been great every sense of the word, and he does it all, right? He's got pop. He's going to be a 30-homer guy this year. He's at 29 right now, but he also has a chance to join the exclusive 2020-2020 club, which I didn't even know existed.
Is that the Curtis Granderson club right there?
That you're right. He's one of 4 players in history that are a part of it. It's 20 doubles, triples, homers, and stolen bases. Frank Schulte did it for the Cubs in 1911. He actually won a pair of World Series with the Cubs back in the day. Willie Mays did it. Curtis Granderson did it. J. Roll did it. I don't know if he's going to get there. He needs 4 more triples, but the guy has multi-triple games all the time. I think he was the first guy to have 4 multi-homer and 4 multi-triple games in the same season.
I think we need to talk about Curtis Granderson more. Just like a really good ball player, really good person.
Yeah.
Like
really
he
good.
Kind of like excels at everything that he does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was a very, very good baseball player. No question. You know who else excels? Nike. Yeah, I want to give him a quick shout out. We have an awesome new partnership with Nike. So go check out our affiliate link in the description below. Shop amazing Nike gear. Yeah, you heard me straight. I was like, what? We got a deal with Nike? Hell yes. I feel better about life.
Is that the read?
That's it.
Oh, my gosh.
When you're as big a brand as Nike, all you got to say is check out the link. Go click it.
I guess,
That's about
I'll
all.
say this. Thank you to our listeners. I mean, we got Mountain Dew. We got Nike.
Yeah.
We're
We
doing
rolling.
it.
All right, last thing. Seattle lost yet another game on Tuesday, but this was kind of the fun part. Dan Wilson, this is down in Florida, by the way, is out there arguing a call. See ya. Simple toss. And you don't think much of it. But then they cut away to somebody that's sitting there taking the game in, none other than a guy who lives in Tampa. Former Mariners skipper Lou Piniella, who gives he's 82 years old now, which I can't believe.
Is that Gronk next to him? Who is that?
That's like Gronk's uncle. That's funny. That's a good call on your part. But, we don't have many arguments anymore, and we very rarely get managers who get in your face. So we figured this is as good a time as ever to bring back some sweet Lou stuff. When he used to, I don't think there was ever a manager who got as fired up as him. I'm not Billy Martin, Earl Weaver, Bobby Cox. When Lou would lose his shit, he would go into another stratosphere. He's kicking dirt right now for those of you that are podcast only. And I'm not talking about just little, like he is screwing up the chalk lines left and right. He would do all that sort of stuff. He would fire bases. And the best part is, like, they would take shots of Ken Griffey Jr., whether he was in the field or on the bench, and he would always be laughing his ass off.
Yeah. I want managers to do more of that, to be honest with you. If you're going to get thrown out, it's entertainment, people. The crowd loves it. Throw your hat. You can give the umpire a wink, too, if you want. Like, hey, I'm about to go off right now. Like, that's fun.
Yeah, but there's going to be a real problem because with the ABS system, what are they going to have to argue?
I don't care. We cannot lose managers arguing with umpires in this game. We can't, Chris. I think that's like my one hill that I'll die on in this game. Not my one hill, but one of them. We got to have those interactions. They're awesome. When people leave a baseball game where a manager got thrown out, one of the first things they're going to tell people, hey, how was the game yesterday? Oh, my God, you won't believe the manager got thrown out. He threw his hat. He kicked the dirt. He took a base out. Like, that's what they'll talk about. And I get it. Hey, we want to focus on the game on the field. I get it. Baseball's going to be fine. The play is always going to be great. We can't lose our entertainment value like that.
Yeah, I mean, there are 10 instances you can come up with the top of your head of managers going nuts and doing stuff, right? And it's Terry Collins, with who was it? God, what umpire was it? Ass in the jackpot. Yeah. Lloyd McClendon taking the base and throwing it in the dugout in Pittsburgh. That was 25 years ago. And how about the AAA manager for the Braves? Was his name Spellman, who did the military crawl and threw the rosin bag as a grenade? Like, those are indelible moments in the history of this sport that you continue to bring up.
I love when managers throw the umpires out. That's my favorite thing.
That's always good.
You're gone. Torey Lovello does that. Love that for him.
Yeah, he did that. He actually broke it down with me when Jimmy did the breakdown. It was Tom Hallion, by the way, I think was
Tom Hallion, yeah.
Yeah, that's who it was. So, all right. We are through hump day. We are back at it again on Thursday, and we cannot wait for our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, who did a lot of fighting to get through this show. Our awesome intern, Sawyer. That is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Thursday on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.